the real estate. Awesome. Uh, to serve the real estate investing community with integrity and to just be there to be of service and not just there to collect fees and and do that part of it. But we strive to be a service to the community. So, do you want to go ahead and do this slide?
Yeah, again, I just started recording, so welcome to the Multifamily Freedom Chasers Financing Zoom. So this year we have changed things up a little bit, not too much. We have eliminated down to 2 days, which is on Mondays and Wednesday. And Mondays you will have, this is our Freedom Chasers community, actually. Most of you might know some of these people on here. On Monday, we're going to be doing our activation Zoom instead of Sunday. So at 8 p.m. Eastern time, we're going to be doing our activation Zoom with Trevor. And they're going to be doing alternating Mondays with BB and Iffy, which does asset management. And then Jerry and I will be doing Wednesdays as usual. We're going to stick to our bi-weekly Wednesdays. And then we're alternating Wednesdays with Ed and Kevin, who will be doing deal sourcing and underwriting. So yeah, that's our weekly Zoom calls now. 2 days, down to 2 days.
And I would like to add Kevin's a new member to the team, and he is a commercial broker. So he's a good addition to the team, and haven't got to know him real well, but I know that he is a broker. I guess the last 10 years he's been doing commercial real estate brokering. So he makes a good addition. So, all right. You done with that one?
Yeah.
So, want to invite a couple of you. We've got time for two people. If you want to unmute or raise your hand, and we'll call you up and introduce yourselves to the community. I will go ahead and tell everybody that there has been people do business with each other from this call. So don't be shy. And go ahead, James. Hey, I know you. What's up, James?
Hi, Jerry. How you doing?
Good, man.
Sorry, I'm at the grocery store right now, but definitely wanted to jump in here with you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Jerry, you've been helping me a ton with looking in what to anticipate with some of the deals that I've been looking at. So I really appreciate your help with that. But I'm here in Indianapolis. Been chasing after as many deals as I can, and just learning a little bit about that.
Awesome. Awesome. Good to have you here, James.
Thanks. Glad to be here.
Anybody else?
How do I do this? Hi, guys. How are you?
Good. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. James, what part of Indianapolis are you in?
I'm in Northwest Indianapolis, like over by Eagle Creek. Are you in Indianapolis too?
No, but we're investing in Indianapolis, so I'm looking at a couple of deals out there. Yeah, feel free to share your contact info in the chat.
Yeah, absolutely. What deals are you looking at? Maybe I'm familiar with some of them.
There's a 152 unit deal, and then there's also a 40 unit deal. They're different names. Like one of them was Teal Run, but yeah, we can talk about it offline. I'm happy to share it with you.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, absolutely. And if you need feet on the ground, I'm happy to.
We definitely do. Yes,
yeah,
that's why I'm on these calls to meet people like you. Well, I'm Andrea Garcia. I put my contact info in the chat.
I scanned the water already.
Been in multifamily for about 7 years now. And so I specialize in affordable housing, tax credit properties, but I usually, for the side hustle, focusing on acquiring properties that are around 50 to 200 units now. So yes, that's my background. If you guys have questions about anything, feel free to reach out to me. I'm also happy to be on here for Jerry and his info. It's always, he never falls short of amazing us with how much him and Shelly know. It's amazing. Just these people keep on learning. And I love people like you. You guys are good people. That's why I keep coming on. So thank you guys.
Well, thank you. We like having you on here. So
Yeah, thank you, Andrea. And again, what Andrea just did and James, they just connected. This is what this Zoom is all about as well, connecting with each other. So
Yep.
go ahead and throw your information in the chat so you guys can connect with each other and actually throw where you're from. So if you're in somebody's buy box or market area, you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
connect them.
And I will say that James is also a roofing contractor in Indianapolis. So
Oh,
if anybody has anything
That's,
like that going on, so
yeah, that's right. Yeah. So and I know all construction too. So, and I got a ton of guys behind me that can help. So if there's any projects that come up, I do a lot of commercial jobs too. So
awesome.
awesome.
All right, Keone, I think I'm pronouncing your name right.
Yeah, how's it going? Thanks for putting this on and glad to meet everybody.
Yeah,
So I'm a commercial real estate broker. I own a commercial real estate company in Maui, Hawaii. So that's where I'm located. Yeah, I've been a broker for 30 years. We actually do brokerage, property management, construction, and have a full facility maintenance company here in Maui. However, we are, raising funds to buy deals on the mainland. And so we are targeting actually distressed hotels around, you know, 80 to 150 units and converting them to workforce housing. And we're closing right now, next week, closing on one in North Houston. And we have a few others in escrow. So I'm here to say, and that's under my Studia Capital next to my name. That's what that is. And what would be of interest to me is you can't just buy these from day one with an apartment loan because you're buying a hotel. So this is you're having to start off with a bridge loan. So looking for sources for that.
okay, great. Cool. Yeah, we have sources, plenty of sources, so we should connect offline as well on that. So
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Great
yeah,
to have you.
Yeah.
good to have you here.
Thank you.
And I see you showing off your background there. I'm guessing that's a fake background, but it's probably what you'll see when you look out your window, isn't it?
That is the McKenna Golf Course, not too far from where I work. So
Okay.
yeah, it's virtual. I'm not standing there right now. I wish I
Yeah.
was.
Well, we've been getting rain and snow here, just for what it's worth. So
Jerry, where are you located again?
Cincinnati.
Oh, you're just right down the street. That's great.
Yep, for sure. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and get started with the current debt market update. Usually I just do one page of the debt market update. I've got a few pages of it today. Where are the current rates? The Fed rate is at 5.25 to 5.5, the highest federal funds rate in 22 years. The 10-year Treasury, we're back over 4. Last week we was down, 3.8 range. 4 weeks ago, 4.5, and then 6 weeks ago, almost 5. So the treasuries are what if you're going after agency debt, that is what those rates are based on. So when the treasuries go up, your rates are going up. The treasuries go down, your rates are going down. We usually have a spread on the treasury, 1.5 to 3. You add 1.5 to 3 onto that treasury, and that'll get you the range of where your rates are going to come in at. On small balance loans, below 7.5 million, add 2 to 3 points for the small balance loans in general. Add 1.5 to 2.5 on the conventional rates. So if you're above the 7.5 million, with Freddie, Fannie is a 6 million for the small balance to the conventional. And let me move this here because I'm having trouble seeing the whole. There we go. All right. So the market has been pretty stagnant over the last year. We've had the rates jump up. It's held people off from selling. There's still money out there that's wanting to be put to work. As far as from Freddie and Fannie, there's still people out there that have money. Some of the banks still have money to lend. You know, that's not been the issue. The issue is, you know, we have sellers that are not wanting to lose money on their deals. So, you know, they don't want to sell at a 20 or 30% loss or whatever it would be, you know, in comparison to what the property was worth a year and a half ago or 2 years ago. And so, you know, the rates going up have killed valuations, and you know, it's just created a stagnant market. A lot of people, a lot of sellers are expecting rates to go down, or hoping and praying rates are coming down. And you know, they might get that wish, and that prayer might be answered here this next year, or it might not. We just don't know. But there is a lot of opportunity coming to the market. Major correction is already underway. There's $2.7 trillion of debt maturing by 2027. 540 billion in 2024, 540 billion or so in 2025 maturing. So what that means, when these loans mature, the rates are going to be going adjustable in most cases. When these rates go adjustable, they might have had a 4% or a 3.5%, or even better in some cases, rate. And so, you know, if they had, you know, 100,000 in debt service that they paid every year, you know, and they jump up to a 7 or a 7.5% rate, you know, they're going to be at 175 to 225,000 in some cases, what they owe the bank on a yearly basis, and it's going to kill cash flows. So that's the issue, and that is what's going to create the opportunity for people to buy in this market. I saw, I think it's, what's the name? Green Street is an analysis company for commercial real estate. They say 15% of all commercial real estate loans right now are underwater. And so that's not loans, that's not properties that have lost value. That's properties that owe more than what the property's worth and what it can sell for. So there's a big difference there. We deal with people every day that call and are needing help. You know, they might owe 20 million on a bridge loan, and the most we can get them on a refi, you know, might be 15 or 16 million, because the way the rates have jumped up. And so they're in trouble, you know, but they could still sell that property, a lot of them, for the 20 million. And then whoever buys it is going to get a 75 or a 70% loan to value. So that property, in a lot of cases, those properties are not all underwater. Now, when you look at their equity position, they're underwater. But when you look at the bank's view of being underwater, they're not underwater, because the bank's looking at, well, if I take this property back and they owe 20 million and I can only get 18 million out of it, you know, in the bank's eyes, that's underwater. So, and actually, I believe what I read was 35% of all office buildings and office commercial real estate is underwater. So 15% of all commercial real estate overall, when you're looking at all asset classes, but 35% of office is underwater currently. And a lot of that, I mean, the interest rates have killed them, but a lot of office is hurting because of low vacancy and things as well. So, or high vacancy, low occupancy. So looking back at 2023, Green Street Advisors is a commercial real estate analysis firm. These are all their figures and numbers. Commercial real estate pricing index shows that all assets ended the year down 10% year over year. And we had already had some, you know, we started the year below the highs that we were in 22. You know, so we started probably already 10% down in a lot of cases. You know, because 2023 we had already had the high rates, and you know, we'd gotten into that high rate market, you know, back was it September, October of 22, and so we already had values being being squished a little bit, but in 2023, overall, all overall assets 10% down year over year. Institutional quality assets are down 22% from their peak in March of 22. Office has seen the largest drop since March, at 35% down. That's on average. I mean, there's some office out there that's 50 and 60% down. 2023 actually saw hospitality hold to the smallest declines, but they're still down 20% from their peaks. And shopping malls actually saw a slight increase in 23. That might be surprising, but you got to think shopping malls were hurt worse by COVID and when everything shut down than they were by the interest rates kicking up. So a lot of them were already down. I know our local mall here, we're on the Kentucky side of Cincinnati. So the Florence Mall here locally, I think 5 years ago sold for like 90 something million. In 2020, somebody was able to buy it for, I think, less than 30 million. So it was, big discount on that one. So shopping malls this past year have gone up a little bit. Some of them are starting to recover and get different tenant base and stuff like that in there, but they're still hurting. The main topic is the lending outlook for 2024. So the things that impacted commercial real estate 2023, the higher rates, and they were caused by the inflation and, I mean, it depends on who you ask if we were in a recession or not. There's a lot of people saying it, definition of inflation's been changed. You can make an argument, however, that, we've at least had recession. We've at least had recession fears, to say the least, in the market, and that's impacted real estate. Other things that have impacted commercial real estate, I say inflation, but inflation has really, hurt in more ways than just making the rates higher. To hire staff and things to work at these properties is getting more expensive. To get work done, on the properties is getting more expensive, which then in turn makes your insurance more expensive. We've had quite a while of valuations going up a whole bunch. The previous years to the rates starting to raise, and so some cases taxes have gone up on owners. So there's a lot of things that started putting owners in bad spots this past year, besides just the high rates. And the question is will these same things impact 2024 the way they did 2023? The short answer is, it's already started impacting 2024. We were still in the high rates. Inflation's still a little higher than they would like it. All these things are still going on. And they're trying to, when they're talking about stopping inflation or slowing inflation down, and they don't like that so many people have work. They don't like the jobs now. They don't like all these things. So what they're wanting to do is, see more people in pain. They're wanting to see, and really what they're wanting to see is blood in the streets in the real estate market, because we've had such a big run at it here, over the last few years. And so they're going to continue on this until they get the numbers, and things that they're looking for. So the lending outlook for 2023, we're all just waiting on the Fed. We're waiting on the Fed to decide whether we're going to see better rates, whether we're going to see higher rates, whatever it is that they're looking to do. We're all just kind of sitting here and part of their big game, and and they're watching the data, and whether I know a lot of people don't trust the data, don't believe it's real, whatever, but it's they're watching it. They're watching the CPI. So if you all are ever watching, You can watch Fox Business, CNBC, MSNBC, different financial news, and they talk about the CPI, they talk about the PCE, the personal consumption expenditures, and the consumer price index. These are the inflation numbers that they're looking at. And they're wanting these things to be down below 2%, so they can, feel comfortable that inflation has been held back the way they want it to. And we have job reports that are still going strong. Last Friday we had a job report that came out. I think it was last Friday. My days have been jumbled up since the holidays, but I think it was last Friday they had jobs report, and the jobs report was stronger than they liked it to be. Which in turn we had the treasuries were down, in the upper threes, mid to upper threes, coming down close to the mid threes. And when that jobs report came out, when the jobs report came out, the treasuries all bounced up a good 20, 25 basis points. So it's just as long as the economy is strong, which it is currently in a lot of ways, they're going to continue pushing and pushing to try to slow it down a little bit. Another thing they're looking at is wage growth, and wage growth they're wanting to slow it down as well. So just some of the things that they're looking at. If you watch the financial news, like I said, Fox Business, Bloomberg, CNBC, different ones, you can always go to those to see your and you can see your treasury numbers. If you're looking at underwriting deals, you can get your treasury numbers and things on those sites and on those channels as well. So
You meant to say 24, right?
yeah, lending outlook for 24. Is that what you was changing?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's 2023.
All right. So we're going to go through some negatives and we're going to go through some positives, and we're just looking at what could happen here in 2024. Some of the possible negatives, we'll get the negatives out of the way, and then we'll talk about some good things that could happen. The possible negatives is, that the numbers don't get better. The other day, I guess it was before the holidays, when the Fed had it was the December meeting, and Jerome Powell made a speech, and he talked about, that we might see 2 or 3 rate decreases here in 2024. Well, the day that he made that statement, the stock market went on a crazy run up, and it just went up, went through the ceiling that day, and the next day, and the next day, and that's not what the Fed is wanting to see when they talk about rates going down. They don't want to see the economy just come back and turn back on like it was before they started raising the rates, because it would kind of be in vain that way. So if the numbers don't get better, it'll cause the Fed to have some more rate hikes again this year. If they don't get better, and let's say they turn around and the rates or the inflation numbers get worse, they don't like the jobs, they don't like this, and they don't like that, there's nothing keeping them from having another rate hike this year. If they did that, it would really push the market into a bad place, and the economy into a bad place, be pushing more owners to sell at a loss or to give their properties over to the bank. There's some of them that are giving money to the bank every month out of their own pocket, because the properties aren't cash flowing anymore, and they're just holding off, hoping that they're going to get bailed out by the Fed, lowering rates, and then they can refi and make things better. So there's a lot of the people out there right now, and if the rates don't lower, they're going to be in a bad spot and have to cut the bleeding and just give up the property. So another thing that could happen, if the Fed was to come out and they were to lower rates too quickly, let's say they come out, and lower rates too quickly and the economy just turns back on, um, there's a chance that they could push us into some ultra high inflation. I've heard some of the experts talking about this, that if they came out in the next couple months, dropped 1%, another couple months, dropped another percentage rate. Imagine the people that have been wanting to buy a home over the last year or year and a half, and they've been antsy and antsy and antsy to buy a new home, and these rates drop, and they just go out and people start paying all kinds of crazy prices for homes. I mean, your $500,000 home that you're in now could possibly sell for $1 million, $1.5 million. Who knows? I mean, we're talking, runaway inflation is a possibility if the Fed was to come and drop rates too quickly. So, but those are some of the negatives, that could hit the market this year. Just possibilities. But here we'll go ahead and go into some of the possible positives. The positives, I mean, that's what we're all hoping for, I think. Rates come down and stay down, or, I mean, really, it would be a positive thing even if they stayed the same, and inflation stays in a good place. If the rates stayed the same, we would have some people that would just have to lose money on deals and stuff. But what we want is just kind of some consistency in the market, and it'll allow the rates to stabilize. It'll allow cap rates to stabilize as well. Right now, if you look at any different markets and things like that, and you say, hey, what's cap rates in that market? Well, right now it's really made up because there's not been enough deals happening in most markets to really be able to say, hey, that property right there, that's a 3 cap, or that's a 5 or a 7 or an 8. There's not been enough deals happen. I was saying that the market was stagnant. That stagnant market has got, where cap rates are just kind of made up between the buyer and seller. I mean, they're always that way, but when you have 3 or 4 properties in that market selling a year, or different things like that, it kind of sets a base of what the cap rate should be looking like. So, when that happens, it'll allow the transactions to continue happening and flowing and buying and selling to go on. Most money in the real estate game here is made when you're buying, selling, and refinancing. And if those things ain't happening, and it's just stagnant, the market, the real estate market's just going to kind of hold down. And people like us, I mean, if there's real estate agents on here or brokers, you all know, there's not, when there's not as much action happening, you're not making as much money. And for us, a lot of I don't. At the beginning of last year, there was reports coming out saying 50 to 60% of all mortgage people are going to drop out of the market, just because there's not enough business going on, and there's not enough buying and selling, not enough refinancing going on to keep them fed. I don't know, over this past year, this was at the beginning of 2023, I was hearing these numbers. I don't know how many have actually dropped out. I do know multiple people that have dropped out. And I know multiple bridge lenders, hard money lenders, that have shut their doors this year because they just couldn't hold on. And when buying and selling isn't happening, they're not making their fees. And even if they have money out and lent out on deals, and they have notes on deals, they're still not making money. They're not making a lot of money on the interest. Their money is made on the transactions themselves. So but once we get some more stability as far as things stabilizing, whether the rates stay here and they stabilize here, or whether the rates come down a couple points and stabilize, either one of those things would be really good for the market. So if they stay the same here, we might have another year or two where it's a little slower because people are expecting them to come down. But overall, I think it would kind of level out and be okay. And if rates come down, I mean, there's going to be a lot of action happening. So, other things that can affect real estate this year, and we might be on a crazy ride this year. One of the big things is it's an election year. We have a presidential election coming up, and that always presents some craziness. That might be a good argument on why we might see some rates coming down this year. We might see some rates coming down and things because we're in an election year. People in power now might pull some strings and say, "Hey, we want to see some better rates because we want the economy to look good for the election." You never know what's going to happen. And if you listen to too much social media, you hear all kinds of crazy stories, but about the election coming up. But I do know the election is going to put us on a little bit of a roller coaster ride. Whether it has something to do with rates jumping up and down or not. I do know that if we, love him or hate him, Donald Trump's a real estate guy. If he gets back into office, I think that he'll really be pushing to get rates lowered and things like that because he's going to want to see real estate values coming back up. So, so other things that could affect it, another thing like COVID. I mean, COVID had a big impact on everything. And if you wanted to be a part of the COVID thing or not, it affected you in some way, I guarantee you. So it affected your work or business or something. Some wars. We got several different places around the world that there's people fighting wars. The U.S. jumping into these wars and things could really affect commercial real estate. Other countries failing. A lot of different places in the world depend on the U.S. The U.S. is really the stability in the world in a lot of ways. So if things are happening in other parts of the world, it always has a chain reaction. So there's my outlook for commercial real estate. I'm not going to give any predictions. I think we'll come. I showed the bad stuff and I showed the good stuff. I think we'll probably come somewhere in the middle. That's usually the way it happens. We'll even out somewhere there in the middle where we have, some of the bad things that I listed will be happening, and some of the good things I listed will be happening. That's kind of what I'm thinking and predicting, but I don't want to go out on too much of a limb and say too much because I don't have control over any of it. So I just watch it and take my best guesses. So, but I do know in commercial real estate, if you buy properties that have good debt, good numbers, good locations, good tenant base, and it cash flows when you buy it, you're going to be in good shape. So, and over the long term, you'll be in real good shape. Grant Cardone says it all the time. Don't wait to buy real estate. Buy real estate and wait. So, and I think about this all the time. My grandparents lived in California. My grandfather was 30 years in the Army, and so they were stationed in California when they first got married in the early 50s, and they bought a brand new house in Monterey, California. I think my grandma said it was less than a mile away from the beach, and they paid $8,000 for a brand new 3-bedroom, 1-bath house in Monterey, California in 1950. And that same house, I think she said, was $1.5 million now. And so if you would have put $8,000 into a mutual fund in 1950, I don't think you would be at $1.5 million. I don't know the numbers there, but on real estate, if you own that property since 1950, you'd have collected rent, all the way through. So I prefer real estate to any other asset class, and I think it's the best investment out there. So Question and answer time. If anybody has any questions, go ahead and fire away.
You can raise your digital hand, or if you want to put it in the chat, I can read it. But go ahead, now's your chance.
Hey, BB, is that you talking?
Yes.
Hey, great.
Hi, Jerry.
Hey, good to see you.
Yes. Thank you so much for giving us this perspective. It's very important for us to know what the debt market is saying. My question is, what is the rate as of today for agency and bank and debt? What should we be looking at?
Oh, like if you're looking like
For
with bank
commercial?
debt or with
Yes,
agency?
bank and an agency loan.
Yeah, the banks are all over, you know. I mean, one bank's going to be, you know, it used to be where you could find banks that are beating agency. I haven't seen any banks here lately over the last 6 months or so that are beating the agency numbers. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they're still out there. Well, and let me take that back. I did see, had somebody come to me recently with they're wanting to refinance 90 hotels. And the 90 hotels, they got a quote from Wells Fargo at 6.05%. And they were lending them 70% loan to value. You know, so that's a bank loan, but that's not, I mean, I think the loan amount was 750 million. We couldn't find anything, you know, CMBS was in the mid sevens, you know, different ones that we use for hotels. So that's an example of a bank beating, you know, the agencies or CMBS. You know, but generally, like right now in today's market, I'm seeing the agencies being, you know, getting better numbers than the banks. But I'm sure that there's some exceptions out there. You know, agency debt is anywhere right now from, you know, 5.6 on the conventional side to 7.25, you know, on the smaller balance side. So it's a big range. You know, but there's a lot of different types of assets out there. So I hope that answers your question.
Yes, it does. Thank you. That means it's going down a little for now.
All right.
I said that means it's going down a little because before now it was about 7. I think it got up to 7 point something, or almost
Yeah.
7. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for being here.
Sure.
Any more questions? Well, while we wait, I've got to tell you something over the Zoom. Jordan is home.
Oh, okay.
They won their basketball game.
Oh, good. Good.
Any more questions, guys? You want to go to the other slide while we wait?
Yes. Is JJ going for his homecoming?
Oh my gosh, you know what? It's still a challenge. I gave him until tomorrow to make that decision. Just so you guys know, JJ was selected to go, our son, he's on here, wave JJ. He was selected to go to homecoming. He's gonna be mad at me for talking
He's
about it.
selected to be on the homecoming court. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it. She told me to think about it, so I'm thinking.
He's thinking, but I think he already made up his mind. He doesn't want to go. And I'm like, go. Anyways, if you guys want to encourage him to go, you guys can in the chat if you want to. Go have fun, Mai said.
JJ would rather work on his YouTube. That's what he wants to do.
Yeah, that's all.
JJ, life is not that serious. So please have fun. Some of us didn't have this ability to have fun when we're younger. So please have fun and also do what you need to do. But this is a one-time opportunity you won't get again. So please take advantage of it. Have fun.
My daughter went. She had a good time.
Hi,
She's
Lee.
homeschooled, but she went to the public high school prom. She got invited. She had a good time.
Okay, nice.
Awesome, yeah.
2 of them she went.
Oh, good.
Well, JJ was selected to be one of the finalists for the homecoming king and all that stuff, and he doesn't want to.
Wow.
He don't want to go and do that, and he doesn't want to go to the thing. He's like, well, if I go, I'll just go for that, and then I'm going home, you know. But he didn't want to go to school at all this year, so he's a senior and he gets done at 10:30 and could have probably just finished up last year, but we said no, you can finish and take your senior year the way you need to. So, but
He's a smart kid, guys.
but so things that we need if you're wanting to get a quote on anything really, depending on the asset, you know, we might ask for other different information. You know, needed for a quote on multifamily storage, you know, those types of things. A T12 rent roll, an OM if you have it is good, and a summary of what you plan to do with the property. And as we get closer to being ready to, you know, sign LOIs and all that kind of stuff, you know, SREO, PFS we'll need from a KP, or if you're the sponsor, we'll need it from you. You know, we do more than just, you know, multifamily and hotel and storage. We do business acquisitions. We have one that should be closing this month for a printing company in Miami. And the borrower is paying $1 million for the business, only putting 50,000 down to buy $1 million business that cash flows over 300,000 a year. And when he closes, he's getting a check for 200,000 for working capital. So it's a pretty sweet deal, and SBA is a nice program. If you find a business that you want to purchase, we'd be more than happy to help you with it. So,
Can you just say that again? I'm sorry. I mean, I was listening, but
yeah,
because I am looking at buying another construction company.
okay,
So just
yeah.
say a 1 minute version of what you just said.
Yeah, this is a borrower that is buying a printing company based out of Miami. He's spending $1 million on the business, and he is needing to put down $50,000 to close the loan. We have 10% that the seller is carrying, so he's bringing $50,000 or 5% to close the deal, and at closing, he's going to get a check for 200,000 for working capital. So he came with a plan on you know, marketing and things, and you know, the bank said, hey, that looks good, we like your plan for marketing and we think you can grow the business this way, and so they're writing him a check for 200,000 at closing, so to help with his marketing efforts.
He was in Florida.
Yep.
So was that like a Florida regional bank? Like, does it have to be a bank in the state that
No.
the business is?
No, this bank has branches all over the country. We have 13 different SBA lenders that we work with. You know, we're brokers, and you know, SBA is a government program. The banks, they have to guarantee 10% of the loan, and the banks, you know, have to follow the guidelines of the of SBA to when they're underwriting the deals. But some of the SBA lenders we have are national SBA lenders that aren't even affiliated with a bank. They do nothing but originate SBA loans and work with brokers like us. So,
And that one was a business acquisition, not tied to real estate. Because I've done SBA on the real estate side.
yeah, this one was not tied to real estate, so it was done with the 7A program. And yeah, so I mean, you know, SBA. I mean, sometimes we can get you. I mean, if you're in the construction business and you're buying another construction business, we can call it expansion, and sometimes not. You won't have to put any money down. So,
But is that where you can't, there's like a 10-year prepayment penalty or something on that program?
yeah, most of those have pretty hefty prepayment penalties. Yeah.
Yeah, my email's in the chat. I wouldn't
Okay.
mind talking to you sometime in the very near future.
Yeah, and I'm not watching the chat. I don't know if you can keep an eye out there, Shelley. But
The Keone at studiocapital.com.
okay.
Okay, and then I'm gonna put Jerry's information on here.
Okay,
And
good.
you can, actually, I'll put your Calendly on here. So
Okay.
people can see it.
And we'll be putting our contact info on a slide here as well. So things that people can do today.
There's a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Nicholas said, how hard are deals like that to come by? The printing company, I think he's talking about.
Yeah.
when that question
The
was-
last step, like I mentioned, I like to take the kids on trips, give them different experiences that I didn't have growing up. I never traveled anywhere until I was in my mid-20s. Like vacation for me used to be we get in the car and we drive down. Hopefully that the car doesn't break down. It did a bunch of times. We would drive from New York. I grew up in Queens, and we would drive down to Savannah, Georgia, where my aunt lived, and my grandmother was originally from Savannah. And that was summer vacation. We'd be there about 2 weeks, and I get bit up by mosquitoes. And
Who's talking?
those are my.
Oh,
Oh,
like,
I
was he
think she was
asking
That
you
moving.
what-
was, I don't know. I was about to mute him, but I was like, oh wait, is he talking to you guys? I didn't know.
I wasn't sure either.
I thought he,
Okay, that was from Nicholas. How hard are deals like that to come by? And is the check he is getting an additional loan?
It's part of the loan. So the loan amount then becomes 1.2 million. So it ends up being a part of the loan amount. Deals like that, you can get working capital on a lot of business acquisitions. Finding good businesses to buy, be careful. Be careful, know what you're looking at. And the SBA is going to really vet the deal as well. So, I mean, if you're buying a business and financing it through SBA, SBA, they know what businesses, there's a long list of businesses that they won't fund right now because there's big high default rates in these loans when they pass them out. They know the businesses that are going to work and the businesses that aren't going to work. And they know the borrowers that are going to make the business work and not make the business work overall. So I would say it's like finding a good real estate deal. There's a lot of cash flowing businesses as you drive up the street. Everywhere you look, there's a cash flowing business somewhere. If it's not a cash flowing business, it won't be there long. But all over the country, all over the world, there's cash flowing businesses. And, when they come up for sale, you can buy them and you can continue them cash flowing. So that's what I'll say about that. So yeah, there's good deals out there. But there's a lot of pigs out there too. So. What can you do today? I know that there's new people on here and there's people that have been in real estate for a long time. But if you're new to real estate, what can you do today to eventually be able to sign on loans, be the person that's heading up the deal? First, make sure your personal credit is in order. I know a lot of the gurus talk about you don't need credit, you don't need cash, all these things. But if you want to be the person signing on the debt, you're going to need to make sure your credit's in order. No late pays, no defaults, those types of things. And if you do have some of that kind of stuff, start new today and make sure you don't have any more of it. Work on your personal financial statement, your SREO. Get your bio together. You're on a educational call right now. If that's what you have right now that have real estate experience, put it in your bio. People that are getting into buying multifamily and stuff, some of them are coming from single family. Talked to a guy at one point and I'm talking to him and he's telling me I have no experience in multifamily and this and that. And I'm, trying to help him out to buy a small multifamily deal. And then I find out that he had wholesaled over 50 homes in the last year. And I said, man, you've got experience in real estate. This is what you need to tell me, don't hide this stuff because it's not multifamily. That's real estate buying. And, you're part of 50 different real estate deals this year, and you need to tell us about it, you know? And so people make light of things that they've done. And, you know, if you're working on, you know, getting on the deals, you know, put it all on there. Tell us everything you've done. So, work on raising capital if you're working on maybe syndicating or finding capital partners, or, you know, we talked about the guy buying the printing company. The guy has another full-time job, and this is just going to be a second income for him. You know, find something like that, make some more money. Get involved in you know, a sales program or whatever it is. You know, find something to sell, or do something to make some more money. And we also have a referral program. You know, we pay referral fees so people bring us deals. And we'll be doing a referral program call this month at some point. Did you put a date on that or no? You're muted.
We were looking for a date, and we have basketball that's getting in the way of everything. We will try to find a date though.
Okay. Yeah, as I coach basketball, I was supposed to coach the game tonight. I coach the middle school team. Our son's an 8th grader. He plays on the middle school team, the university team, and the varsity team. And I'm coach of the middle school and JV teams, and then I help out on the varsity. So we have at least one game every night this week. So I missed tonight, and the varsity coach took over and coached the middle school team tonight because I had this call. So it's been busy for us here lately. Basketball season always gets that way. But this week's verse, Proverbs 29:18, where there is no vision, the people perish. So this can be taken in a spiritual sense or a physical sense. You know, if you don't have a vision, you know, you're not going to go anywhere, and you're going to perish. You know, you see all the gurus talking about write your goals down, know what you want to do, get a, you know, sit and take time to think about what you want out of life, all these things. And that's very important to do. You know, where there's no vision, the people perish. Our next Zoom topic, January 24th, we'll be talking about alternative financing solutions for commercial real estate. Plug in to the Freedom Chaser, Multifamily Freedom Chasers community. These are all the different places that we are. We have a WhatsApp group, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Spotify. Oh yeah, YouTube is right here. We have a YouTube page, so this call will be recorded and on the YouTube page.
I just shared the link for those of you who are not plugged into the Facebook page, where you can get all the notification for these events. Go ahead and plug into the Facebook page and you'll get notified.
Awesome.
Yeah, you can find the this recording on that page either tomorrow or the next day.
Cool,
Yeah,
cool.
and here is our WhatsApp chat. You guys can scan that and join our WhatsApp chat. It's a good place to connect and communicate with each other. We already have a bunch of people on there connecting and communicating. Go ahead and scan that QR code and connect with the Multifamily Freedom Chasers group chat.
Get on there and connect with people.
And we are going to try to be respectful of everybody's time, and we're getting ready to end this call. Here's our information. Here's Jerry's phone number, his email, my email, and the QR code gets you to his Hi Hello card, where you can get all that information if you just want to scan it.
Yeah, and when you go to the Hi Hello card, you can send me back your information as well.
Yeah, it's a free digital business card, guys. Yeah. So go ahead and take advantage of that. We use it a lot. A lot of people use it. There you go.
I will give everybody about another 30 seconds on this page, and then we'll go to our call schedule.
Thank you guys for joining.
Appreciate everybody being on here.
His name is Keone. Okay. Keone, go ahead and grab Jerry's information. I don't think I saw your information in here. I didn't grab it, so grab Jerry's information. And I put his Calendly on there if you guys want to schedule a 15-minute Zoom call with him, that would be great.
Cool. The
And
Zoom calls are scheduled for 15. We can take longer usually if we need to. So,
Thank you.
Hey Jerry, I gave information to one of my partners. So gotta push your name.
yes, yeah. Igor.
Igor. Talk, man.
What?
no.
No, the guy that you gave my number to.
No. Tara. Tara. She's out of Seattle and
Oh.
Virginia.
Yeah, I'm supposed to talk with her at the end of the week. That's right.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Okay. Yeah, I got connected with somebody named Igor this week, and I thought that's who you was talking about. But
Because his
yeah,
name
it was Tara.
thought
That's
it was
right.
another
Yeah.
an ego.
Yeah. No, I know you, Hawk. I know that, but I was thinking about who you connected me with. So sorry about that.
Oh, you're funny, Mike.
So here is the schedule of calls. Every Monday, every Wednesday. We are every other Wednesday. Tune in next Monday. You'll have Iffy and Bibi talking about asset management. And then next Wednesday, we will have deal sourcing and underwriting with Ed and Kevin. And I'm sure they'll be talking about their deal. They're getting ready to close on 120 or 150 units in Destin. So make sure you jump on those calls. And probably be the last time I tell everybody this, but Happy New Year, y'all. It's good to see everybody in the new year. And I appreciate the connection, Hawk. I really do. And I'll do the best I can to take care of her.
Thank you, Jerry.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, thanks for doing this, Jerry. This has been great. Super
Yeah,
glad
for
we could
sure.
join in.
Yeah. Everybody have a good night.
When I walk through the door, I'm talking cash flow. And if you know like I know, you getting cash flow. Rule one, getting money, never losing no. But I'm broke, but now I'm living at it, digits, comma zeros and some decimals. And I wish you would try to test me, yo. You should listen to the lesson, no. Masterminds out of Mexico, I invested though when I let it grow. Regiments I got a pocket full. Rich income and your taxes low. Spend it right and then invest some more. And if you don't believe me, ask my doctor down. What you mean? You mean Uncle G? Planting seeds for these money trees. Who got my money, please? Everywhere you wanna be like Visa, MasterCard, American Express. I bought the bank and I bought the chance. I buy apartments, I send checks. Yo, millionaire went undercover, help y'all discover who did it best. Just bought 2 choppers, can't wait till they see the face and they see what I do next. When I walk through the door, I'm talking cash flow. And if you know like I know, you getting cash flow. When I walk through the door, I'm talking cash flow. And if you know like I know, you getting cash flow.
Yeah, and only then do I buy something stupid. How stupid can you go? You can go as stupid as your cash flow.
You know what heals all ills? Deals. Look who went from meals to bills. It's eat what you kill when you're in the field. In the pipeline overflowing, I don't drip or spill. We don't seek balance, nah, we want extraordinary. If you really knew my dreams, it'd be more than scary. We got more to spare, ain't no shortage, baby. Winning by the chopper and another for my lady. Talking about the bird and the strap, say the word and she handle that. Fully loaded, put it at the target and you know